An employee displays valuable performance when their individual contributions aid in attainment of the overall initiatives and goals of the organization. Individuals can be extrinsically motivated to perform through external factors such as reward systems, scores or grades, and recognition in general. In contrast, intrinsic motivation involves individuals being driven by internal rewards, such as personal interest, curiosity, or fulfillment of core values. Both intrinsic or self-actualizing internalized motivation and extrinsic motivation, motivation by external rewards or pressures, have been shown to influence employee performance. Therefore, researchers work to better understand the distinction. Although intrinsic motivation is more autonomous, extrinsic motivation varies in the degree in which it's autonomous versus controlled, resulting in a self-determination continuum ranging from no motivation to fully intrinsically motivation with variants of extrinsic motivation in between. You can see that behavior varies from not being self-determined at all to being fully self-determined. When you're truly intrinsically motivated or motivated to perform because you want to, you're self-determined. When you're not self-determined or you lack motivation or you don't want to do anything, you have amotivation, no motivation. However you want to look at it, there's no motivation. When you have motivation from external stimuli, your motivation is going to vary from being controlled to becoming more and more autonomous or self-regulated. And that depends as we transfer from external to introjected to identified to integrated, how autonomous your motivators are. You'll see the more personal something gets, an activity gets, the more likely it is to be intrinsic versus extrinsic. And along that spectrum, the more personal it gets, or the more likely you choose to want to take that action, the more likely you are to be intrinsically motivated. And what do we know about performance and intrinsic versus extrinsic motivation? Well, the more likely you intrinsically motivate, the more likely you're going to get better performance. The more likely you extrinsically motivate, the more likely you to get better performance. Is there a difference between the two? Well, tangible extrinsic rewards can sometimes undermine intrinsic motivation, which not only provides support that motivational forces exist on a continuum, but it also implies that some motivational forces may be better predictors of performance than others. Extrinsic rewards may actually diminish intrinsic motivation and eventually decrease performance. There is also empirical evidence suggesting that intrinsically motivated employees often perform better than those motivated by external influences.